Let's talk about one of the biggest myths out there when it comes to success, the whole idea of the self-made person. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on a powerful principle that shows why nobody, and I mean nobody, ever achieves anything truly great all by themselves.
So, let me ask you a question right off the bat. Seriously, take a second and think about it. Can you name a single major achievement in history, a world-changing invention, a massive business empire, anything that was done by just one person working in total isolation?
Yeah, if you're drawing a blank, there's a really good reason for that. An author named Napoleon Hill spent 20 years of his life studying 500 of the most successful people on the planet. And his conclusion? Not a single one of them did it alone. Zero exceptions.
What he found instead was this hidden pattern, a common thread that linked every single one of these titans of industry and innovation. He gave it a name, the mastermind, and he was convinced it was one of the most important secrets to achieving anything extraordinary.
Okay, so what in the world is this mastermind? It's way more than just good teamwork or networking. We really need to look at the exact definition, because trust me, every single word matters.
Here it is, word for word from Napoleon Hill himself. Coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. That language is so specific for a reason. Let's break down why.
Let's pull that apart. There are three essential, non-negotiable elements here. First, coordination. This isn't just having smart people in a room. It's about actively blending their unique skills and resources so the whole becomes way greater than the sum of its parts. Second, harmony. Hill was super clear on this. If the group doesn't have genuine goodwill and support for each other, you've just got a committee. It's not a mastermind. And finally, a definite purpose. Without one clear, shared goal that everyone is driving towards, the group's they're just hanging out.
Now here's where it gets really cool. When you get those three elements right, coordination, harmony, and purpose, this mastermind starts to generate two very different kinds of power. One is pretty obvious, but the other is where this idea gets truly mind-blowing.
So you get two big benefits. On one side, you've got the obvious economic benefit. Makes total sense, right? You combine skills, contacts, resources, you're going to get more done. But then there's the secret benefit, what Hill called the psychic power. He argued that when these minds work together in perfect harmony, they actually create an invisible, intangible third mind.
And just to be clear, when Hill talked about this third mind, he wasn't just being poetic. He believed it was a real force, a new consciousness that could tap into ideas and inspiration that are completely out of reach for any single person. This, he said, is where true genius and creativity come from.
I know, that might sound a little out there, a bit mystical. But Hill's response was simple. Look at the real world. Forget the theory for a second. The practical evidence, as he put it, is simply overwhelming.
Case in point, Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest people in all of history. He flat out said his entire fortune was thanks to his mastermind group, a carefully selected team of more than 50 people that he coordinated to build the U.S. steel empire.
Or think about Henry Ford. He famously said he didn't need to know everything himself, he just needed to have people around him who did. That inner circle was a textbook mastermind, combining all the different kinds of expertise needed to completely take over the auto industry.
And of course, there's Thomas Edison. We have this image of him as the lone genius in his lab, right? But that's not the whole story. His famous lab at Menlo Park was basically the physical headquarters for an incredible mastermind team, all working together to bring his inventions into the world.
So these historical examples are amazing. But what does this all mean for us, right now? Well, the incredible thing is, Hill's principles are completely timeless. They give us a framework you can use to start building your own mastermind today.
It's actually a pretty straightforward three-step process. Step 1, find people with complementary skills. You don't want a room of people who think just like you. You want people who fill in your gaps and cover your blind spots. Step 2, make sure it's a mutual benefit. This has to be a two-way street. Every single person has to be getting real value out of it, or the group will just fizzle out. And step 3, meet with a purpose. This isn't just a casual get-together. Every meeting needs a clear agenda focused on moving that big shared goal forward.
And you might be thinking, do I need 50 people like Carnegie? Absolutely not. You want to know the minimum number you need to get started? Just 2. You and one other person. One other person who complements you and is totally committed to the same definite purpose. According to Hill, that's all it takes to spark that powerful third mind. So when you boil it all down, the ultimate takeaway is this. That whole myth of the self-made person, the lone genius, it's not just wrong, it's actually bad advice. The most successful people weren't isolated islands. They were hubs, connecting talented, passionate people around a shared goal.
And that brings us to the final question, and this one's for you to really think about. Who is in your mastermind? And if you can't think of anyone right now, who's the first person you're going to ask to join?